Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.
Hello, my name is Mike, and today's show is brought to you by our Amazon page. Please remember to shop at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. It's quite simply the best way to support this show. If you need it, Amazon has it, and you can get it at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon. Bookmark it, please.
Available on demand every day in iTunes and the Google Play Store and around the world on MikeO'MaraShow.com. What more can we do for you? It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Jesus!
I'm not talking to you anymore.
What a morning. What a morning.
Louise, you
what
tell me.
a morning. The first thing, right out of the gate, I come waltzing into
Okay,
the
first
studio.
of all, this will not be the way it happened. But go ahead.
The waltzing, yeah, because I'm a big liar.
No,
Just
you're
like
going to
you're
change
not.
the tone. You're going to
Just
change
like
the
you're not.
absolute tone of this.
You're in a
because
great mood.
What I wanted
I was
to
in
do,
a great mood. I was in a great mood until Rob's wife called him.
Oh yeah. Well, you know what?
That's right. That's when the turn happened.
Right?
I
Thank
think
you,
you're right.
Oscar.
Yeah. I think
You're an
you're right.
eyewitness. You
Yeah.
are an
Right. I was
eyewitness.
here early for the first time, and I
That's when
witnessed that.
That's when it changed.
Yeah.
Rob is normally a Krispy Kreme donut in the
Oh,
morning.
my
He
God.
is pure
Filling
sugar
and
and
everything.
joy.
Yeah.
He is pure sugar and joy. He got a call from Mrs. Spiewak, and boom. Then it's like, Topol was not on Broadway when you saw them. Kiki K sent me a message that said you did not see him, so you're lying about when you were like 5 years old going to the theater.
The tone has been changed. I never said lie. What I said is that your story is about to be elevated because it's going to have a bigger
What do you mean
star in it.
elevated? How does that mean? What kind of conjuring his story is going to be elevated?
The story becomes better because you saw one of the greatest Broadway stars of all time.
Another
the
layer.
late Zero Mostel.
Another layer.
But I would have remembered Zero Mostel, even at my young age. I don't know. I was anywhere from like 10 to 13, 14. I would have remembered.
Who could forget Zero Mostel?
I don't think I would. He was too goofy. He was like with his combed over hair and all that. Of course, he wears a hat in the play, I guess.
Of course he does.
But I don't remember. But I remember. It wasn't. I don't know if I saw Topol or I saw somebody else, but I know I didn't see Zero Mostel. Then Rob comes
Was
in
it
and
Rex
says,
Harrison?
No, Kiki K says, "Don't get funny." Kiki K comes in and says that Zero Mostel was the only one to play in 1972. Zero. Well, I don't know if I saw it in 1972. It's a very long time ago. It's over 40 years ago.
It is. But let's put the focus back on my wife. Because what happened is at 5 minutes after 10, my phone rings, and it's my wife. And she says, "Where are you?" And I look at the phone with my mouth open like, I'm at work.
Where else would I be?
Where have I been at 10 o'clock every day for the past 5 years? I've been at work doing. And she goes, "Oh, okay, sorry to bother you." And I said, "Okay, but I'm at work, so we can talk about this tonight." Afterwards, and
Esta noche.
she says, "Oh, I didn't realize it's after 10, isn't it?" And I said, "Yeah," and she said, "Okay." I said, "Later." Click.
Oh, no, you didn't
Click.
say it like that. You said, Carrie, is it okay if I get off the phone now? I
said,
have to go
"Please."
and do my job.
Actually, you know what? I hung up. She might still be talking.
Please, honey, I have to leave now. Please don't hurt me.
That's
please.
very comical. And the thing that was so important, she said, "There's just one more thing. I know you're at work, but I got to tell you this: is that Mike saw Zero Mostel on Broadway."
Shut up.
How could you forget Zero Mostel?
Of course, Mike in his hat.
Then I asked Rob, I said, you were involved in some thread that I didn't understand. And now I'm looking at the thread, and I realized that there wasn't a picture when I saw the thread because it was like X'd out on my computer, but now it's there. So it was, what Walking Dead character are you? Tab's big for putting those up there, and Tab wrote, "I am Rick, where's Tab.
Tab.
That's his Jewish
Tab
name.
Peterson.
That's his Jewish name.
Wrote, "I am Rick, where's Coral?"
My
And
favorite
then Rob
song
wrote,
is Ted.
and then Rob writes, "him?" ? It's like, what's going on these threads that make no sense that I try to understand?
Him.
Johnny Midnight was involved. All the usual suspects were involved with their crazy humor that nobody else gets.
There's a
for
great
Christ's sake.
survey that you can take on Facebook, and if you answer a series of 10 questions, it tells you who played Tevye when you saw Fiddler on the Roof on Broadway. Number 3
Rofo.
will blow your mind.
Rofo,
Yes.
have you found out what years different people played Tevye? Because according to Rob and his dear friend Kiki K.
You take it back and
Apparently-
swallow those goddamn
apparently
words. She's a
Kiki K,
nerd.
Rob's best buddy.
No.
How dare
No,
you?
no,
Kiki,
no.
Kiki has been contributing the show for years.
Yeah, you might.
Yes.
You know what? I don't
Rob's
trust
best friend
anyone.
Kiki K says that
I don't trust
apparently
anyone that has 3
Zero
Ks.
Mostel was Tevye for 57 years on Broadway.
According
That's the way it
to
works.
IBDB, the Internet Broadway database, which I didn't
Yeah.
even know existed until Kiki K got out of her
That's incidentally,
and
by the way,
nudged me with it.
probably for that particular production.
What do you mean?
That's what the IMDb is. It's probably for that particular production, not for all of the productions, because they're all different. It's like a movie. You put a different production on Broadway. it's probably a
according to
different
the
movie.
cut and paste that Kiki contributed. Kiki, who I have no great affinity for, but no, she's not my enemy either. I don't consider her a nemesis or an ally. She says
I
that Zero.
couldn't pick her out of a lineup.
Oh, you might someday because you know what? She runs with a bad crowd. She might be in a lineup.
Well, I haven't been paying attention to what the fans are doing lately. They're putting fat jokes about me all over. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. And you know whose fault that is? Stephen Douglas McIntyre.
Oh,
I
what
just
did
wanted
he
to say
do?
that.
Why?
This is
Just felt
news
like
to
yelling
me.
out.
All right, good.
No,
okay.
I just felt like yelling out.
All right.
I like doing that.
According to this hackneyed website, Zero played Tevye from September
now
22nd.
you mocking me by saying because IMDb is a hackneyed
No,
website? 'Cause it's
IBDB.
not.
I don't trust IBDB.
IBDB.
I don't know about this
IBDB.
website. This is Internet Broadway.
IHBM.
IABM, Mike.
Right. Oh, okay.
All right,
read your
September-
little thing, and then we'll go to Rofo.
Zero played
Rofo.
Tevye from September 22nd, 1964 to July 2nd, 1972. Also, Zero played him in the revival from December of 76 to May of 77. Now, I don't want to find you a liar. All I was trying to do was give your story some amazing cachet that you could say you saw Zero Mostel on Broadway.
Yeah, but I think I would have remembered that. I think I would have remembered as a kid seeing Zero Mostel. And my
because all
point to
kids
you,
love Zero Mostel.
How could
no,
you
my
forget
point
Zero
to you was
Mostel?
my point to you is during that period of time. I'm sure you're talking about years and years
Yes,
and years.
over
there were
7
other
years.
runs of Fiddler on the Roof with other cast members.
It could have been
wasn't
Paul
always Zero
Lipson.
Mostel.
What's
Maybe it was
this?
Paul Lipson. Who was Paul? Well, Paul Lipson sounds
Did
like
he
a
invent
younger
our
guy.
Did he invent our website that we use for
No,
streaming
no.
the show?
Hosting.
All right, what information do you have, Rofo? Here we go.
Paul Lipson was
Get
Zero.
ready to be disappointed, Michael Mara.
I'm waiting for the disappointment to sink in.
Yeah.
All right. So
Here
Paul
we go.
Lipson was Zero Mostel's understudy in the original production.
Aha!
And I think he holds the record for the most performances, over 2,000 performances of that role.
Oh, because Zero was really on the horse at that time, doing a lot of heroin.
So, according to Kiki K, perhaps there could have been another person on stage.
Absolutely.
Based on the fact that
Understudy.
Zero was not
Yeah.
on stage every night through all of
Because
those
of
years.
the H, allegedly.
No, he wasn't really on heroin. I just made that
sorry.
up.
Sorry.
Now, I seem
dare
to
you.
remember
It was a
that
joke.
I saw the guy that was in the movie that was on Broadway. That's what I thought. But did he ever play on Broadway?
and the name
guy
is
that was in the movie.
Topol, T-O-P-O-L. And he also
Because
invented
according
a
to Kiki K, during the run that I would have seen, he would not have been on that stage. Right.
And he also, didn't he make a fortune with Smoker's tooth polish?
Topol.
He said, this will make your teeth so white.
Topol.
So
Now, my integrity is being just questioned
All the
daily on
time,
this
we
show.
right?
never
You
questioned your
started it.
integrity.
What are you
Santana.
talking about?
You started it a long time ago.
My
by
never questioned
proving
your
me
integrity.
wrong.
I just like when
Don't ever
things
prove me wrong
add
on my
up.
own show.
Don't you
See,
know?
it's your
How
show.
dare you?
I've
I'll
said
pull
this
a
for
ki-
years.
I will pull a King Jeffrey. I don't know.
Well, you know what happened to him?
All right. Well, so yeah, that's
Topol
right. he
played in
died.
the revival, but it was in 1990.
Oh.
I
So
wouldn't
you
have
sure
seen
you
it in
weren't?
1990.
Are you sure you weren't 34 when you went?
So Paul Lipson, maybe that's the guy that I
Could
saw.
be. Find out what else he's done. See if he
right.
has a movie career.
That would be great.
He could.
What
be
about Herschel Bernardi? Didn't he play as Tevye? Herschel Bernardi played.
I know the
also.
name, and you know what? In a recent revival, really, what's his name? Harvey Firestein played him.
That one was like a short time.
Yeah,
ago,
just
right?
very, very recent. So
Paul Lipson was also in Detective Story, Carnival in Flanders, The Vamp, and Bells Are Ringing.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Blockbusters.
wow, the show just stopped.
Well, Now we know everything there is to know about Fiddler on the Roof. And, hey, Kiki K, thanks so much. Appreciate it.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. You can listen to the Mike O'Mara Show at www.mikeomarashow.com.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show.
Let's get down to business.
From the entertainment capital of the world.
Mrs. White, you've been paying our friend the blackmailer ever since your husband died under, shall we say, mysterious circumstances.
Ah, I didn't kill him.
Then why are you paying the blackmailer?
I don't want a scandal, do I? We had a very humiliating public confrontation. He was deranged. He was lunatic. He didn't actually seem to like me very much. He had threatened to kill me in public.
Why would he want to kill you in public?
I think she meant he threatened in public to kill her.
Oh. Was that his final word on the matter?
Being killed is pretty final, wouldn't you say?
And yet he was the one who died, not you, Mrs. White, not you.
What was he like?
He was always a rather stupidly optimistic man. I mean, I'm afraid it came as a great shock to him when he died, but he was found dead at home. His head had been cut off, and so had his, you know. I had been out all evening at the movies.
Do you miss him?
Well, it's a matter of life after death. Now that he's dead, I have a life.
But he was your second husband. Your first husband also disappeared.
But that was his job. He was an illusionist.
But he never reappeared.
He wasn't a very good illusionist.
It's the Mike O'Mara Show. Mike O'Mara, Rob Speedwack, Oscar Santana. And now, from his easy chair, here's Mike.
Something happened there? Did something happen there for a second?
We had to stop Dude down so that we could get the "Oh Baby" in.
Oh, baby.
Really?
Yeah,
Oh,
Dude doesn't like to step on the vocal.
Confused me. Anyway, live from the Cappy Viper Studios and Herb Worldwide, this is the Mike O'Mara Show. We are powered by Encore Insurance Services with over 25.5 million downloads heard daily at MikeO'MaraShow.com and exclusively over the air on the mighty 1630 KCJJ in the heart of the Heartland Go Hawks.
Number 86, Mike, at wide receiver, a freshman from Mount Auburn, Iowa. It's Zero Mostel. I mean,
Zero Mostel.
It's Jay Shield. Jay Shield.
Bounce back, Hawks. Let's bounce back this weekend after that loss to Maryland. Come on. The Mike O'Mara Show is a daily podcast and radio show with the greatest listeners on the planet. Why?
Why is that, Mike?
Because they get it. Our show today brought to you by Blinds.com. I installed my plantation shutters in my own home with Blinds.com, and as everybody will tell you, I am not a handy individual. People were not counting on me to be able to do this successfully, and I did procrastinate, and when I did it, I was so glad I did because the feeling of satisfaction doing your own project has now motivated me to replace some other blinds in the house, and I'm going to use Blinds.com to do that because it is so darned easy. I always I'd farm it off to Carla, and Carla had a friend of hers, Kristen, that used to do it all the time. I'm like, you guys put these up? You guys remember the curtains in our studio? I had them do it. Well, now I'm going to do it myself. Blinds.com offers all the top names to make your windows look their best. Plus, their sure-fit guarantee means the installation is always a snap. And if you don't want to measure or install, no problem. They can help you, too. Right on the website, there's a place where you can get somebody to do it for you. Blinds.com can handle all of it. 61% of their business comes from repeat or referred customers.
Wow.
I really want to stress that. When you hear that, 61% of their business comes from repeat or referred customers. That is significant because that's just like me. I will tell you something. I dealt with the people initially when I was ordering my plantation shutters. I'm like, yeah, they're being nice to me. It's the whole radio thing.
Sure.
That's why they're doing it. Well, I'll tell you, the second time I dealt with them when I had to get the remeasured plantation shutters sent to me, same exact thing with emails and also with telephone conversations. They are extremely thorough. When you see the prices at Blinds.com, you'll want to tell your friends about it too. And with their 30-day their 30-day price guarantee, know you'll get the best deal no matter what. And with their 30-day price guarantee, you know you'll get the deal. And with their 30-day price guarantee, you'll know you'll get the best deal no matter what. That's
go.
actually not properly. That is properly written. I just couldn't read it. Save right now. We're not doing a make good. I've given them a good commercial. Save right now during October. Upgrade your home with new blinds from Blinds.com. You can get 15 to 20% off select designer window treatments from top brands with a free cordless upgrade. Also, Norman brand products, including their child and pet safe designer shutters, 20% off, plus free shipping on most orders. Remember, Blinds.com offers a 30-day money-back guarantee. Be like me. Use Blinds.com. Tmos.com. I love them, and I hope you will too.
They're great.
Really, I'm just all wound up today. That was a very festive beginning to the show. I'm well rested. A good night's sleep last night. The happiest day in Florida. The dogs pooped side by side.
Oh, you didn't have to go searching.
Oh,
I've seen it happen 3 times in my existence. It has happened to me 3 times.
Double
and it's
deuce.
just like, it's fantastic. They're like trained horses. It's really beautiful to watch that. You know,
do they do that side by side at the same time?
At the same time.
Oh,
yes.
if you could
Beluga,
get this to be a regular thing, this could be all over YouTube.
that would be bliss.
Poo-tube.
Beluga, Beluga does it first always because Beluga can do it like 8 times because that's all Beluga does is poop all day, every day. And then Frankie puts his little baby Tootsie Roll right next to him, and they were doing it simultaneously within maybe less than a foot of each other. And I'm like, thank you, guys.
Time to hit casino.
Thanks for starting my day off properly. Thank you very much.
One
I
bag,
appreciate it.
then. You could do one bag.
I did one bag. With
Look
it.
at you.
Oh, that's fantastic.
Can you imagine a slot machine? Deuce, deuce, deuce. Big one.
Oh, boy. Beautiful little
Double
hounds.
Beluga Diamond.
Beautiful little doggies. I really, really appreciate that. So now all I am today is on Comcast Watch.
Right.
And I thought
Isn't it more like a
Comcast-
vigil?
It's a vigil today.
Right.
I thought, correct me if I'm wrong, when you call and make the appointment with Comcast, and maybe I should have done this before the show, but I didn't want to be on hold for a half an hour, so I didn't. They told me that I had a 12-hour window. So here's my question to any of you boys that have used Comcast services. With the 12-hour window, don't they call the day of, like once your window begins to tell you
usually
to narrow your window a little bit?
Get a robocall the day before, at least here in the city, in DC.
For confirmation.
You get a confirmation where you have to hit 1 or 0, whatever you need to confirm.
Is this Mike O'Meara?
Thank you. Perfect.
Yeah.
And then you would confirm, and then regardless if you confirm or not, the next day they'll call you 20 to 30 minutes before they come over.
Yeah, but
and
they're
let
not
you
going.
know.
I don't think they're going to make your window any smaller.
No, they won't make your window any smaller. They'll just give you a heads up that they'll be there in 15 to 30 minutes.
So you just have to wait out the 12 hours, Mike.
Yeah.
Okay.
And your phone, keep an eye on it during the program. I never thought I'd tell you this, but during the show, because if they call during the show, you have to pick up.
That's right, you do.
Yes. Fair enough?
Yeah, it's just
Nobody
You know?
wants to do
I
it,
agree.
Mike.
I mean, it's
You're
just,
doing it for the greater good.
Well, it's a question of fix something right the first time. You know what I mean?
Oh, of course.
Fix it right the first time.
Yeah, but that's not
what I
how our
wish would
society works. You know that.
happen. No, it's not. It's
And also,
you know.
you knew this was going to happen because
Yeah.
what they did the last time, although they improved it, he told you it was just a temporary fix.
Yeah.
Well, what I should probably do is when they call me, give them an Oscar pep talk. That's
Yes,
what I should
yeah.
do. But
Of course.
if I was to give them an Oscar pep talk, they would hang up on me and they would send me away. They would say, screw you. I've had it. Like the lady at the shipping company that was screwing me on Friday, like she hung up on me when I said ABF stands for already been.
Nah.
I thought it
Mike,
was pretty clever.
your approach is completely different than I use logic. That's what I use. I don't get upset. I just state the facts.
Well, that's
and then move
because
on
you're a
with my
superior
life.
person to me, Oscar.
I'm not superior.
In every possible
I just handle
fucking
things
way.
differently.
You're a superior person to me.
You're
that's what
you're
you
like
are.
the Kool-Aid guy in negotiations. You break through that wall, and then you realize,
worked pretty damn well for me for a good long time.
wrong
pal.
room.
Well, why
And then
you could try an
shimmy
Oscar
on
thing.
out.
What if you called up Comcast and they answer and they say hello, and you say, "Listen, at the end of the day, it would be amazing if you gave me a smaller time window."
I got a guy from another truck here, and I got a knife to his throat. Get my service tech over here, or the guy dies. Thank you very
Let's
much.
get started.
I don't negotiate with terrorists.
He's not a terrorist. It's a company.
I would be the terrorist.
Oh, okay.
But I'm not using logic. I called the guy. In fact, I had a pretty good relationship with the guy that came out last time.
What I would have done, one, is I
Just
would
lost his phone number.
wouldn't have lost that phone number. I would have called him back
Yeah,
as
you
soon
would.
as we had a problem.
Actually, I have it written down here. It's a fact that you would have lost that phone.
I'm sure. Cause
I read it on the internet.
You know
that he
what
would
I do
it.
not to lose people's numbers is I call them while they're there, and I put their number in my contact list. That's what I do. So I would have called him a week ago, and he would have been down and out already.
Well, first of all, yesterday during the entire show, where we had a trouble-free show with no dropouts, and it was absolutely
We do have
fantastic.
a slight flicker on the video we have not told you about.
Today?
No, yesterday as well.
A slight flicker
Yes.
during the entire video?
Yes, it just happens once in a while. It's a connection issue.
But it's not. It
It's not
doesn't
affecting
affect,
the show.
Nor
It
is
doesn't
it's
affect
not
audio.
It's not a
audio,
deal breaker.
No,
No,
it's
no,
not
no,
a deal
no.
breaker.
It's fine.
But we are addressing it on our side as well.
Then maybe I should tell you now that I had my internet open the whole time during the show yesterday.
Man.
That might have
Jesus,
might have
this
caused
is
some
who we're
problems.
dealing
Why
with.
would you take?
This is our captain.
If you
I
have
forgot.
to do it,
I forgot. I looked for something at the beginning of the show, and I left it open, and I saw at the end that it was open, and I said, hey, things went pretty well. And then I was going to lay it on him right now, but then he said they had a slight flicker, so I guess it really didn't work. It's turned off. It's turned off today, though.
Even
It's turned
if
off
that
today.
had to happen, why must you take joy in it? That's
Why?
what troubles me.
Because he's anti-establishment, even to his own detriment. He goes, I'm anti-establishment. I want to prove them wrong.
I don't like to be told what to do, ever.
Well,
I don't know who does, huh? Does anybody really like to be told what to do?
Rofo does.
Well, he needs to be told what to do.
Rofo.
He lives for it.
Likes to be told what to do.
He does.
No, you know, you're right. I don't like the man. I don't like big corporations. I don't like even dealing with their most basic employees. I don't like systems. I don't like, if you'd like to stay on the line after this call to review your call, F you sideways.
Of course.
I hate that crap.
Of course.
I wish it was the day. I grew up in an era where you knew your plumber, you knew your mailman, you
Your
knew your
milkman.
milkman, you knew everybody. You did.
Yeah.
You knew everybody.
You knew the guy
my
who
mother,
brought coal.
my mother, God love my sainted mother, she knew, I think 40 years, had the same guy that worked on her plumbing and heating all the time.
Yep.
And like towards the end, when she was in that house, he'd come out like his son would come out, and they do the work for free.
Oh, that's
and they did it
sweet.
for a lot of their elderly clients
yeah.
because they had all the business they needed, and they knew these people because they were their father's clients, and that is gone. And it's so.
It is.
You know, when you get tied up in all of this, you know, I'm waiting on a package to be delivered, and I'll give you a thumbs up to a client that's fantastic for us, that is so professional because systemically they have things done so beautifully, and that's Amazon.
The best.
But Amazon also subcontracts out their shipping to people.
Yeah.
Sometimes.
And particularly their free shipping to people, and that's where it goes screwy. And I have been dealing with this company, ABF, now since Friday for a big-ticket item that is supposed to be delivered down here. And some of them have been, most of them have been very nice, but they are thoroughly destroyed by their own bureaucracy.
Oh.
It is an absolute maze. It is a giant
It's
octopus.
too big. It's
and
too big.
Too big. And this is a product that arrived in Orlando, and these people to this day cannot locate it, and they don't know whether it's on this truck or that truck or that truck. And it's just, these systems normally work well, but when they don't work well, oh my God.
It's so great
it's
when you can deal.
insane.
You talk about having a guy for something, and I come from that background, and I was reminded of a great story over the weekend from my grandfather, Big Daddy. He was, towards the end of his life, his dentures broke. He had them, for
Sorry, I didn't mean to laugh at that.
10 or 15 years, and the plights of the elderly are always a great comedic hot button for Mike. So,
Robbie, could you please come up here and help me, please?
he said,
I thought they were in Mount Vernon.
No, the wooden teeth, yeah. So the dentures broke, and he said, "Get me the number of this guy. This is the guy who made my dentures." So I got him the number, and he called the guy, and this dentist said, "William Stalka, are you still alive?"
Whoa.
And Big Daddy, not missing a beat, said, "I was going to ask the same thing about you." But, you just had one guy who honored his work, and, he had an appliance guy, he had a plumber, he had an electrician, and I missed that.
With my depleted memory that I can't remember certain things I had for breakfast, but I will tell you, let me see, Al Alio. That was the guy that he was the manager for Lynn's Shoes, where I bought all of my shoes from my childhood, from my baby shoes, all the way through high school. That one guy at Lynn's Shoes. We had Mr. Kamen. You know who Mr. Kamen was?
No.
Mr. Kamen ran the department store in my hometown.
Oh, wow.
That's where you went. That's where you got your gym clothes. That's where you got your school supplies. You went to Kamen's department store. Now, as I grew up, it became the mauling of America began. It just started to begin, and it was the beginning of the end. I went to the sporting my first cup that I got for midget football. That I went to Jockstrap. First Jockstrap, I went to Glastonbury Sports. That's where I went. We got our pizza at Gino's Pizza every day. That's where we got on a weekly basis.
Huh?
Not every. Yes, we ate pizza every day.
But while wearing a jockstrap.
Mr. Spencer, Jim Spencer, ran South Glastonbury Drug. He was the pharmacist, and he owned the drugstore, and that's where. And they had a soda fountain. And people don't realize this about my childhood. I did have kind of an old-fashioned childhood that continued through the 70s, where my town held on to kind of that old thing. They had the product show. That was the name of it, the Glastonbury Product Show.
What is the Glastonbury Product Show?
The product show was held in the high school gymnasium, and all the little merchants inside Glastonbury would set up to have a job fair, to have a demonstration of their different businesses, to set up little tables there. And they had every year a girl in town was picked to be the product show queen, and my sister got tapped to do that by Jim Spencer. Said, the product show where they wear a sash, and they were just like Miss at the Apple Festival. That's what they would do.
What's that movie, Avalon?
Yeah, Avalon.
Yeah,
exactly. But
right?
not as old, but pretty darn close.
Whoa. We even have a product show queen.
Why doesn't Kathy ever talk about that when we hang with her? That's huge.
You didn't see her. You didn't see her in the sash. She wore it on the 4th of July.
Kathy worked at the drugstore, and she worked at the soda fountain at the drugstore. And Jim Spencer said, "Hey, some of the girls are going out for this. You ought to do this." And I think there were 4 or 5 girls, and she got voted product show queen. And I remember that she got to run it was either the Memorial Day or the Labor Day parade that she got to, or the Grange Fair parade. By the way, we had a fair every year that I looked forward to. We didn't have amusement parks that we would go to. We looked forward to going to one time a year. The fair, the carnival, would come to town with the rides.
What was your favorite part about the carnival?
My favorite part was I think probably going. I believe it or not, I wasn't a fat kid back in those days. Okay?
You see what he did, Mike? That's really right. Opening up a favorite part of your childhood. What does he do? He takes a nice big Bolivian whiz right on it. That's not cool.
I'm sorry.
Now, when the fair came to town, did you visit your relatives in the sideshow?
The freak show. We had this particular clown who was. I'll tell you more about the Grange Fair.
I can't wait to hear about it.
It's one of the most traumatizing stories. I had no idea this one. I'm very energetic today. I had a blueberry smoothie before the show started.
Oh God.
We'll take a break. And, hey, Oscar.
Yes,
hey.
yes.
Anyway, we'll take a break. We'll come back and have more on the Mike O'Mara Show.
This week on the Mike O'Mara Bonus Show.
Self-Analysis 101 on the Mike O'Mara Show. We continue kind of a theme on our Mike O'Mara Show bonus hours as we tell you all about what's wrong with all of us. Yes, we'll be beating the crap out of ourselves, and it'll be for your amusement on the Mike O'Mara Show bonus hour.
The Mike O'Mara Bonus Show, because 5 hours a week just ain't enough. Always available at MikeO'MaraShow.com. Bonus.
Was one of you guys going to talk about the Charity Hockey Classic?
Yes. Can I do it right now?
Let's do it in a minute.
Yeah,
I'll tell you when.
Oh, you want me to do it?
We can do it in another time.
Another time.
Yeah,
Do
and
another
I'll
break?
remind- Yes, absolutely.
Apologize.
Sorry,
Thank you.
that's on me, and I'm sorry, Mike.
Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by FanDuel. Rofo, how we looking for this week, baby? How we doing? We going to have a good winning team this week?
Oh, Mike, we're looking fantastic. There's some good matchups to take advantage of. We're starting Ryan Tannehill at quarterback, Mark Ingram at running back.
Who?
Ryan Tannehill.
Ryan Tannehill.
Is he the Rofo Mofo of the week?
You know what? He is.
Nice. Nice.
That's our Rofo Mofo.
And T.Y. Hilton at wide receiver, looking to be a good week coming up. I'm real excited about it.
We're talking about FanDuel.com. If you haven't signed up yet, you're missing out on all the fun, but don't worry. It's not too late to get in on the action. For example, just 4 weeks ago, New Jersey's own John Storrs played fantasy football on FanDuel.com for the very first time. He won $60,000.
That's the way to do it.
that could be you. Yes, do you require luck? Absolutely. Do you maybe require a little skill, a little player knowledge? It helps. FanDuel.com has no season-long commitment, no upfront fees. Entry fees start at just $1, and the money is real. Plus, you get to start a new lineup each week. FanDuel is paying out more than $10 million every single week this NFL season, so get started today and win. Just click the microphone in the upper right-hand corner and use the code TMOS. The first 50 to use the TMOS code get their deposit matched up to $200. That's up to $200 free dollars. This offer ends soon. FanDuel.com, where every week is a new season. That's FanDuel.com, and sign up today. Yeah, this time of year, I always feel very nostalgic because this was the time of the year in my hometown where we would have what was called the Grange Fair. I have no idea why it was called the Grange Fair.
Grange is like it's like a field, isn't it? The Grange. You're out on the Grange.
Maybe. I don't know. I thought it was maybe a group.
Little house on the Grange.
It's down in the south part of town, South Glastonbury.
In Virginia, if you go a little further out west, they have Winchester and they grow apples. So they have the Apple Festival this time of year.
We grew apples in my hometown.
So was there any sort of like agricultural tie-in? Did they feature anything at the Grange Fair?
Yeah, I'm sure they did, but it really wasn't some of the town fairs or the county fairs that you're used to. But it was a fair, and it was it was so small. I would go back and look at it today. I thought it was the biggest thing in the world, and I would go back and look at it today and think it was absolutely huge. But it was, here's the difference, and I don't know. I don't want to sound like an old fart, but this might be the difference. I remember as a kid that the diversions, whether it be getting a toy, whether it be going to someplace special, whether it be something that was really wonderful in the life of a child, they were few and far between. There were big, long periods of time where you just went to school, went outside, and played in the yard all day.
Yep.
And then every few months, and I'm talking months, not weeks, you would have something special. And it was a couple of times a year. I had 3 things. I had the Grange Fair, I had my birthday, and I had Christmas. That's it.
Well,
that's it. Those were the things I look forward to.
Didn't you get a Red Sox game every season?
Yeah. Oh, and not every season. No, not every season. No.
Oh, I thought once a year you got to go to a Red Sox game.
No, absolutely not. No,
you see, then I apologize.
Yeah, but that's why it wasn't even when the Red Sox got rained out. It was like
my
suicidal
God
for me. But the story Kathy tells is when I was, 5 or 6 years old. Kathy says it was 8. I say it's 5.
15.
She took me on the octopus, which was the
yeah.
The giant
I know the octopus.
spinning. Yeah, the octopus
that's spinning. Up and down all around.
It spins,
and
the car spins,
yeah.
and the ride spins. It goes up and down as well.
And she, it's in the book, actually. It's in the open mic where she tells this story. And she said it doesn't go fast. And I'm like this little kid. She goes, it doesn't go fast. It doesn't go fast. And then she gets on it with me, and they clink. They put they put the
toothless carny. The toothless carny straps you in.
Yeah, let me get you in here. There you go. Okay, you're all set to go. Are you all right, little boy? You look like you're a little nervous. Let me strap you down in this thing. Okay, maybe I should plug in my computer. That's what
it never hurts.
No worries.
Yeah. Are you all right, little boy? There you go. Okay, fantastic.
And then it starts, and as soon as it started to go, Kathy said, it goes really fast. And I'm like, Kathy, make it stop.
That is one of the hardest things about kids and thrill rides because once they start, you can't get them off. There is a picture of Robert and me
Kathy
on a roller
said,
coaster.
I said for years
great.
that they stopped the ride. Kathy said they didn't stop the ride. Kathy said it went to the end. I thought they stopped it for me. Because I was screaming.
Did you ever have a moment in your childhood or teenage years that you liked thrill rides?
Thrill rides for me, Rob, were truly something that always had a problem for me. I remember Dan Reardon and his father. We went up to Agawam, Massachusetts. God, I remember the distances are closer than they probably were. It felt like Agawam, Massachusetts was 10 hours away.
Like an all-day drive.
Where we would drive to Riverside Park. This is when we got older, when they had amusement parks, when those started becoming the big thing.
Right.
And we went up there, and I went on what was called the Roundup.
Sure.
Do you remember that ride, the Roundup, where they put you like on a stand-up gurney, and then it just goes, and you spin in a cyclone inside.
And the floor drops out?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a lot of times called the time shaft.
Yeah.
And I actually was eating raspberry snow cones throughout most of the morning.
No.
And in Mr. Reardon's LTD on the way back, I threw them up in the back.
Attaboy. Attaboy.
Have you ever been on the ride called the Zipper?
No. That. Are you sure that was a ride, Oscar, or was that a neighborhood? Was that a neighborhood, man?
Actually, that was a ride. You know how Michael Jackson used to have rides at Neverland? He asked the kids if he'd like to ride the Zipper.
The Zipper.
Yeah.
Actually, it was a ride invented by baseball manager Don Zimmer.
That's
the Zipper.
The Zimmer was a bad roller coaster.
You basically, they would place you in pairs in cages of death, and it would go up, vertical, up and down, it'd spin around. But the sheer architecture of this machine just screamed like there was going to be a problem.
Yeah.
And years later, as a kid, I used to go when the local county fair where the carnies would come by your neighborhood.
Toothless
they would
carny.
set up in a mall. As a kid, I used to go because you didn't know any better, and you would go. Years later, there was all these stories about the Zipper breaking down and failing in mid-ride.
Yeah.
So either it would collapse or fall. People got hurt. So they finally shut it down.
Do you know the one that you see at carnivals that have the seats that are attached to the chains?
Oh, the swings.
You know what I'm talking about?
The
The swings.
That's
and
the
I mean,
worst.
your ride is as safe as your weakest link on a chain.
Exactly.
That's rusted.
I mean, it really
That
it
is
looks-
rusted.
That's horribly rusty.
Tin
Now,
roof.
Yes.
Rusted. Don't they claim that on amusement park rides that the carnivals are more regulated than the actual sitting amusement
Yes,
parks?
because because they're actually
Let's bring in our
maintained.
expert right here, ladies and
They're
gentlemen.
actually maintained because they have to be taken down and moved. Now, I've seen some pretty great things at King's Dominion. I've seen the people in the drop zone stay up at the top of the drop zone. Now, that is a thing where they put 400 people in seats, and they take them up about 1,000 miles in the sky, and then they drop them. And it's just free fall until the last 1/4 of the thing, and then it slows down. And it's fun to watch. I've never done this because it's too horrifying. The thing that I love watching
Would you
about
be
it,
would you be able to ride that ride?
as far as fitting,
Yeah,
that is just mean.
No, I mean I've had that happen. I would be probably restricted from a lot of rides.
I could ride that. That I could ride.
What's the weight limit?
It's more of a size limit.
Oh, I got you.
It's a size limit. And remember, a lot of times, the 6th row of a roller coaster has bigger seats. This is true. This is true. You just know.
Yeah, Rob's talked about that before.
But
Rob has talked about
what's
that
fun
before.
about the drop zone is when they take you up to the top, and when they drop it, they're in a circle, and you get to see everyone's legs sort of just flail out because it's just
the
free fall.
gravity, yeah.
So one time, a couple summers ago, the drop zone went up. And they say, and you can hear it all through the park. They go, "Are you ready to free fall?" Everyone, "Are you ready in 3, 2, 1?" And nothing. And they say,
man.
"In 3, 2, 1," nothing. For about an hour and a half, these people were just
Can we
up
get
on the drop
Spiewak
zone.
up here? Get Spiewak up here. The drop zone isn't working. Can we? Would Rob Spiewak, season pass holder at King's Dominion, please come to the drop zone?
What
Please
happens-
come to the drop zone. We need your weight.
When the drop zone breaks, I look at Carrie and say, "Get the tools." So, but they were up there. I mean, we were walking around the park, and for like an hour and a half, I'd look up and say, "Yep, they're still up there. They're still up there."
Wow.
And of course, I told the story about Jabril getting caught on the log flume. He was in the log flume for 45 minutes. I caught up in the shed up there. So the stuff breaks down at KD all the time. It's just it's a roll of the dice. What I don't trust.
When Jabril got caught up in the log flume, and after he came down eventually, did he regale you with his incredibly witty story of the incident?
He really is like the Somalian George Bernard Shaw. He had pithy witticisms and lots of wordplay.
He's got a story he could never tell.
What he said to me,
That's
I believe,
That's
was,
Jabril.
"I sure am glad to be back, Mr. Rob." I said, "We're sure glad to have you back, Jabril." And that was
How
the
is
extent
how
of-
is Jabril, by the way?
He is okay. He is not
I mean,
extraordinary.
he's over in the middle of all that crap over there.
He's
I
in
mean, that's not
Tunisia.
cool.
He's in Tunisia
He
right
can
now.
even come into the country if you want to, right? I'm just teasing.
No, he probably could. There is a chance we'll get to see him at Christmas, But the problem is that his mom has relocated to Dallas.
Oh, man.
So even if he flies
He's with
in-
his father now? Is that who he's with?
Yeah, and we're never quite sure if it's his adoptive father or his birth father.
That's
because it's
gotta
never
be
been
tough.
very clear.
Like, you move you get shipped off to Tunisia, right?
Right.
You're like, oh, man, I get to hang out with my dad, I get to experience a new culture. This is awesome. It's probably sunny all the time, a little hot, right?
Yeah, it looks like Tatooine.
Yeah, and then you're like, oh, I can't wait to go back and visit my mom moved to Dallas.
Yeah.
What's the common equation here? I leave, she lives her life.
Yeah,
Like,
she's done.
That's gotta be tough to swallow.
So
as a kid.
Robert emails him, and we FaceTime, occasionally, maybe
It's
once
over,
every
right?
other. But it's
when he
over.
was getting
Yeah.
ready to leave, did you sense that it was like Oscar said? Did he look forward to it? Did he look at it as
No,
an
he
adventure where he was
dreaded
excited
it,
about?
and
Nobody wants to leave Los Estados Unidos.
He dreaded it, and he is happier there now than he was when he got there. But he's, it's still something that weighs heavy on Robert, which is really sad. It's his best buddy, and actually, it's hard on me and Carrie too. I miss him a lot.
But his spear throwing skills.
Now that's not.
Oh,
even
now that's
funny.
terrible. Now send the letters to Oscar
Right?
Santana for that one.
S-A-N-T-A-N-A.
Right?
That's
No,
horrible.
that is not okay.
Do you have any idea how racist what you just
No,
said
I'm
was?
talking about the javelin. We'll see him in the
No,
Olympics.
that's not the javelin.
Nice
oh my
save.
God!
Nice
Jesus.
save.
Send the letters to Santana,
He's such a
please.
jerk.
Good Lord. Well, this sounds like a good time to break. We'll come back and talk about more fun and more thrills. And are we going to do the CHC thing
Next
now, or
time.
what?
Next time.
Oh, okay.
We're teasing it. It's called a commercial tease.
All right. Well, we'll talk up this record on the Mike O'Barry Show. How are you, everybody? Yeah, having a fantastic time. We're going to take a little break, come back, and have more fun and more thrills. You are listening to the Mike O'Barry Show, everybody. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show. This segment of the program is brought to you by Sleep Number Beds. Woo! That's all. That's all we need. We just need Sleep Number Beds.
Well, no, you came in today. You talked about how well rested you were. What a great night's sleep you had last night.
I got over 8 hours last night on my beautiful Sleep Number bed and on my setting of 80. Mrs. O'Mara with her setting of 85. It was 9:30 last night when I looked at her and she looked at me, and we watched another fabulous DVR'd version of 48 Hours.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah! Mm-hmm. And then the DVR version of Survivor, unfortunately, was pixelated.
Oh, no.
So we turned in early and had a
Womp
blissful night's sleep. Blissful night's sleep. Every Sleep Number bed has Sleep IQ technology. It uses sensors to track and optimize your sleep. There is nothing to wear. All it does is measure how well you sleep, and it will tell you exactly how you are doing. Not to mention the aforementioned dual air technology, which gives you the perfect comfort level that requires nothing on your part other than a blissful night's sleep. My Sleep Number setting is an 80. Carlos is an 85. You can only find this amazing technology at a Sleep Number store, where a Sleep Number C2 Queen mattress with Sleep IQ technology starts at just $999.98. See why Sleep Number was named Best of 2014 by a leading consumer magazine. Find your Sleep Number setting today only at one of the 450 Sleep Number stores nationwide. Here is the number. Write it down. Go out and get one today. 800-511-0061. That's 800-511-0061. And be like my family. Tell them that Mike O'Mara sent you. Yeah, please do.
Please do.
I wish they had. My mother bought one of the damn things and didn't even mention my name.
Well, she couldn't come up, but she didn't recall your name.
Oh, no, there's no need. It was Topol. It was Topol. That's what his name is.
Mostel sent me.
Tell them that Topol sent you. So yesterday we have a couple of things that happened up north of the border. Very rare for the country of Canada to have that mass shooting up there, and they're getting incredibly high marks on their television coverage of the incident, where they did not do 1/10 of the sensationalizing that we do on our media. And perhaps it's a Canadian thing that they're not used to it, but at the same time, they don't, get turgid over it. Right? And there's when anybody shoots anybody. That's the first thing I wanted to say. The second thing, I think we might as well get used to the new reality, which is, we're going to have these wingnuts for a good long time now. The losers, the dregs, the misguided, the mentally unstable, the people that are going to be, they're so-called lone wolves that are going to be pulling this kind of crap. And ISIS has given them, unfortunately, an identity. If you're a misfit
Right.
and you hate the world, now you've got something that you can hang your hat on, and it's sad, but it's true. And the only thing I can say about these guys that are going to be doing this is, aim true. You know what I mean? Because really, there's, I think they're going to keep on coming.
But don't you? I think that wingnuts beget wingnuts. I mean, and it's true what you say that ISIS gives them a landing or a starting pad. But I mean, I couldn't believe today that someone else jumped the fence at the White House. And this, I mean, how long?
And fought the dogs. Did you see him fighting the dogs?
I think the dogs ultimately were going to win.
Oh, the dogs took him down. Which was
won
great.
that.
But it's you never heard about jumping the fence at the White House for 20 years, and then you have how many, 3 or 4, and it's because the idea has to come from somewhere.
I'm happy they stopped them, but this is really, I don't know if I'm just tired of it, especially after what happened in Canada.
Sure.
Where you're sitting there, you're like, this is just the worst. And then you hear the day before that there's 3 girls that were stopped in Frankfurt. They were teenagers trying to go join Americans.
Exactly.
Trying to join ISIS.
It is the new,
Right?
Back in the 60s, the kids on college campuses were protesting the war, and now you've got them going overseas to protest America.
I wanted the guy yesterday not to die, but at least take a bullet. That's what I wanted. I didn't want just the dogs to take him down.
The fence jumper?
Fence jumper.
I
I wanted
felt
to
the
turn
exact
on.
same way.
I was like, please, somebody should have shot him in the arm or something. If somebody
felt the
knows
exact same
that
way.
dogs just won't maul you, you will get shot.
Yeah.
It's like you really, unfortunately.
That's probably not popular to say, but I'm just saying.
No, and in the world of law and the rule of law that we have in this country, thank God that we have it. We have a great system. We really do. But the rule of law prohibits that type of activity when, in fact, your personal beliefs are, it's time for hello example time.
Yes.
Hello example time. Hello. Hey, example time. Yeah, you're the 3rd one in like 2 months.
Yeah.
Sorry about that. Sorry about that kneecap. Oh, you're still moving. Come on now.
Enjoy that hobble.
Well, hey, buddy.
Hey.
But the thing is that the example was set by the first guy who jumped the fence, and really the only way to undo the example is to show what could possibly happen.
We've got the
if it
dogs this
continues.
time.
Exactly.
Maybe a little heat next time.
Next time the dogs will have guns, and then we'll really put.
No,
a
the
stop to
dogs
it.
did their job.
Yeah,
and,
they did.
What the guys that really did their job was apparently they were on him as soon as he went over this fence.
Yeah,
and,
instantly.
It's unfortunate that what had to happen happened to make them vigilant, but now they are vigilant. And then the story comes out on the same day that they pulled a detail off of security duty at the White House to go deal with some domestic situation an hour away.
In La Plata,
The
Mike.
Secret Service in La Plata, Maryland. Jesus, I lived in Washington, D.C. for 30 years. I didn't go to La Plata, Maryland.
It actually comes from an old phrase. It means the plate. And so
The plate.
they left
La
1600
Plata is the plate of
Maryland.
of the D.C. area.
So
of
they
Maryland.
left 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue, and they went off to visit the plate.
La Plata.
No, it's technically
Let's go to La
silver,
Plata.
you jerks.
Oh, it means silver?
Yes.
Oh, okay, I'm sorry. I got to get a new dictionary. Oh, this is
La
a
Plata.
rhyming dictionary.
Because in Rob's version of Spanish, it's like, take the forky and eat off el plato.
You see,
Would you like a glassy for your watero?
You mock me. You mock me, but if the Spanish spoke like that, I could understand it.
Well, Rob, you're no Mark Zuckerberg, that's
No,
for sure.
he speaks Chinese.
Chinese. He was talking Chinese.
Be Mandarin, I imagine.
Yeah, it was.
Hey, Mark Zuckerberg taking Mandarin Chinese.
Hey, look, that Facebook guy can talk Chinese.
Yeah, that story came across us. That's nothing. Our guy Oscar, he says ni hao.
Ni hao,
He says.
not
Yeah.
me
Ni
hao.
hao. There you go.
Yeah,
Ni
but
hao is what
that's-
cats say.
That's sort of a Tech 411 thing.
Ni hao.
Yeah.
How, spell it. How do you spell it? It's me how.
Ni with an N. With an N.
Oh, but there's
Ni
no,
hao.
Yes, ni hao.
but there's no way to spell it
N-I-H-A-O, I think.
because it's the
N-I-
characters, right?
dash-
Does
No,
it look
no, I
like a
don't-
house or something?
I don't, no, I don't, no. I
No?
don't do that.
You don't write the stuff?
No, I don't write the stuff.
Yeah, what you
all I
need is
got.
you need a reed and some ink
Shay,
and make
shay,
something
shay.
that looks like what's that?
That's, I guess thank you or all right, I'll see you later. Where's the hotel?
Yeah. Were you
not Mark Zuckerberg.
Were you suitably impressed by him though when he did that? I was.
I was too.
Oh, 'cause
I
I was-
thought that was cool.
I was getting the dictionary together for the big trip. The English to Mandarin dictionary. I was working on it.
And it turns out his in-laws are Mandarin, so he actually had a place to practice it. So it's
yeah.
He wasn't just doing it for the press
He's
conference.
got a family.
Oh no,
he's
his
married.
in-laws?
He married to a Chinese girl and their family.
Oh, that's
Yeah,
right.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
he
It's Julie
came
Chen,
by
isn't it?
honestly.
It's not Julie Chen.
I think he's married to Julie Chen.
Anybody that's famous is Julie Chen. You jerk.
It's Connie Chung.
That's who it is. She left Maury for Zuckerberg.
It's Sandra Oh.
The comic.
That's who it is.
You know that
the
people-
comic, the actress. Come on.
But people, Annie Yu was on the Tony Perkins show, and
No, that's Margaret Cho, Rob, who's the comic.
Oh,
Sandra
God.
Oh. You even got the wrong stereotypical Asian famous person.
That's
It's
what happens.
Sandra.
That's what happens when you're stupid.
Sandra Oh was in the movie Sideways.
Oh, that's
and
right.
also on Grey's Anatomy.
That's right. And then there's the Jewish actress Sandra Oh. She's different. That's not the
Annie
same.
Yu was on the Tony Perkins show, and she said that people still to this day come up to her and she goes, "I love you," and they call her. They think she's Connie Chung.
Yeah, they do.
They call her Connie Chung.
Connie Chung is 750 years older than Annie Yu.
Yes.
I know. And maybe not quite as attractive.
And isn't Connie Chung Chinese and Annie's Korean?
Connie Chung is married. Is she still married to Maury Povich?
Yes.
Yeah, and they still bone all the time. Because Maury can go all night.
And Maury's still on TV, isn't he?
He has the Maury Show, right? Is
That
in
horrible
certain
show where they
markets?
do paternity tests.
It's
right?
online now, is it not?
No, I think
Can
what
you look it
happened.
up, Rofo, please?
What happened is he used to have like a run on a station like a Channel 5. Then he got demoted to a Channel 20. Now he's
Right.
hanging on by the skin of his teeth at Channel 50.
And doing television. Really, it would not be worth it to be on television to do the kind of television he's doing.
You're right.
I would put needles in my eye if I had to go in and deal with that the dregs of society.
I
every
loved
day of the
Maury
week.
on A Current Affair.
Yeah, that was good Maury.
When I was a kid, I'd get home and I'd be like, "Oh my God, let's figure out what's going on in the world."
I liked
Well,
Maury back
Current Affair.
on Panorama, Mike. He was excellent on Panorama.
I was on Panorama.
You were?
You didn't host.
Yeah, I think I did. Weren't we on Panorama?
Yeah, but
I think we were
as
on
a
Panorama.
guest. That's where you had to sit in the green room with Hardin and Weaver.
on Panorama.
What?
Yeah.
There were these two 80-year-old disc jockeys that ran DC AM Drive forever. Like they were number one from like 1950
Frank and Jack.
to
Frank Hardin and
1985,
Jackson Weaver.
and they were doing a morning radio thing on Panorama, and it was, you have explained it in the past, maybe the most awkward sit down of your life, having to
Right.
spend time in the green room, him and Don and Hardin and Weaver.
Wow.
Yeah.
Really silent. We did two. There were four DJs over at WMAL who we competed against. We competed with Frank and Jack, Hardin and Weaver,
Right.
and we met them, I think, on a couple of occasions, but that one in the green room was the most awkward,
Yep.
where it was just because we were, the young, dumb,
Yeah.
full of,
Yeah.
and we were sitting
And
there.
on their tails. You really
and
were
on their tails,
challenging
and,
them.
and it was not pleasant. It was not. It was. It was
I
it was one of the-
imagine.
and they'd always say it's disc jockey week, and they'd bring DJs in from everywhere. Another one we did was I think Glenn Brenner had a show, and we went on with Trumbull and Core, Bill Trumbull and Chris Core. And Bill Trumbull, who was Chris Core's old radio partner when they did Afternoon Drive at WMAL, could not have been a cooler, nicer guy.
And we
Chris
lost him,
Core
right? He passed
was-
away, didn't
Yeah,
Bill?
he passed away.
Sadly.
And I chatted with him for a long time. And Chris Core was just an ass.
Mm-hmm.
Where is
And still is an ass from what I hear.
Where's Maury Povich, Rofo?
It is still currently on the air. You can catch it in the DC
You want to
area.
clear that throat before you do that? Take a nice big clear.
Oh,
there you go.
God.
Attaboy.
It's
Thanks.
Maury Povich's new show called Expectoration.
Thank you very much.
So in the DC
Ladies
area,
and gentlemen, let me give you a proper intro. Here's Rofo. Take it away, Rofo. All right. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. In the DC area, Maury Povich is on the CW. You can catch it today at 2 p.m.
Oh, and I'll be there.
Will DNA prove you're the father of my wife's baby?
That's all he does.
He's still doing that?
Or
That's all he does.
And that's all he's done for 10 years.
It's horrible.
Or if you missed
It's
that
sad.
one at 4 o'clock. I'm only 17. Did my boyfriend sleep with my mom?
Oh, my goodness.
So he's on twice a day on Channel 50?
Today on the CW.
Wow.
Double dose.
Yeah, that'd be excellent.
And Oscar, taking a look back at the reality television prism, and you've worked with Michael Holstein, so have Rob and I.
Yes.
The fact is,
Yes.
you learn early on about reality television that it's fake. My question is, for this type of stuff, this is, where do they find these people? Is it the magic of the television,
I
of
think
the
it's
magic
the magic
box?
It's the magic.
I think there's also remuneration.
And you get paid, or you want to go visit Chicago or wherever they're filming it these days.
If you ever what you got to do, Mike, is someday TiVo a judge show like a Judy or a Joe Brown or the
right.
No longer can you catch Judge Alex because he's retired. But if you pause the last frame of the credits, it's only up for about 1/10 of a second, and it lists all the stuff about they are paid for their appearance. They do not have to pay off their money that has been awarded.
Judged.
Yeah, it's all goofy.
Are they
showbiz.
bright enough to be good actors though?
Some of them are. And Carrie watches a lot of the judge shows that, you see a lot of
Well, I'm not talking about the
quality.
judge shows. I'm talking specifically a show like Maury, where you come out and he's taking a paternity test to see who's my baby daddy and all that.
Springer was the best at that, though.
Yeah, Springer
he
did
was
it.
an art form.
Yeah.
Right.
I loved watching that.
Maury does it all the time. And my question is to get the people to be on the Magic Box. I mean, it's a limitless supply of these hunyaks that come on all the time and are doing this. And it just seems to me that I cry BS a lot of the times when they're sitting there saying those despicable things to each other on stage. But you never know.
I think the acting has a lot to do with the target audience. I don't think you have to be John Gielgud to appeal to the average viewer. I think that a lot of times they're afforded a lot of flexibility because of what you're playing to.
I would agree.
All right, before we go to break, I do want to touch on one story here that came. It got a little play, and I have no idea. I don't watch The Simpsons, Rob. You watch The Simpsons.
I do. I still do.
You're a Simpsons maniac. The Goodfellas guy is suing The Simpsons, saying the character. Do you know the character we're talking about
I saw
here?
the picture at the article, and it's
I think
a
it's Frank Silvo or something like that.
But
That's
to
the name of the
to
guy.
my memory, he hasn't been on in like 7 years.
Forever. It's like he just caught a rerun.
Yeah, was he watching?
He's like, wait a second.
Hey, I'm
That's
watching
exactly what I
FXX, and all of a sudden during the marathon, there it is. Hey! I don't
And this
think he
is
has
the
a leg
guy.
to
If
stand
you
on.
want to know the guy we're talking about in Goodfellas, this is the guy. First of all, he ends up on a meat hook.
Yep.
And they did a really nice job with the frozen frost on his big bushy eyebrows. But he's also the one that comes in with the girlfriend after they make the big Lufthansa heist, and he's got the girl with the girlfriend with the big mink coat, and says, "Take it off, get out of here, get out of here," like that. And he's always the idiot that Joe Pesci yells at too when he stabs Maury in the back with the ice pick.
Yeah.
He's the guy that's driving the car, and he starts to get out of the car, and Pesci goes, "What are you doing, you dumb mother? Get back in here. Come on now. What are you doing, you stupid?"
Even though if this guy had a current case, if he had been on like The Simpsons last Sunday and he just saw it and it's happening, I don't think he has a leg to stand on because, I mean, this is characterization. This would be like suing someone for drawing your picture in a cartoon.
And I don't think there's any precedent.
Cartoon. Yeah.
That guy's
There's no
probably hard up
precedent
for money.
Yeah.
So
Sad.
he did that. I'm not sure whether
Pathetic.
that's true or not. So I need some movie recommendations for this particular weekend.
He's going to the cinema.
John
remember-
Wick. John Wick.
You got to remember, I'm taking Mrs. O'Mara.
Oh. Fury.
Well,
That's,
not
that's
Mrs.
another
O'Mara?
one. That's what I'd like.
Mrs.
Saint
O'Mara
Vincent.
might like to
Saint Vincent.
the Bill Murray vehicle.
Yeah, that people are raving about that.
St. Vincent could be the movie.
Yeah, and with
there we go, Oscar. That's why I do this segment.
Yes.
That's a great idea.
and Mike, a little eye candy for you.
Oh yeah.
In St. Vincent, it's got the lady from Mike and Molly in it.
Oh God,
Melissa McCarthy.
That's her.
you mean the lady from Mike and Molly? Don't you think? Hasn't she established her career? This is the man who does not go to movies, But you did get on the tab thread.
I did get on the tab thread, of course.
Very
Yeah.
cool.
Well, because
Do you remember it now? Do you remember it now?
Yeah, it was simple. It was just. I think it was just this morning. It was an
Yeah.
early thread. It wasn't a big deal.
What Walking Dead character are you?
I don't look at Walking Dead, but he did the quiz, and when I did it,
You had to participate, even though you don't watch the
No,
show.
I'll do the quiz.
You still had to
I didn't
dive
do
in
the
and
quiz.
participate.
No, I didn't do the quiz. I don't do the quiz. I don't do quizzes.
Who are you?
I didn't do the quiz.
Did you just troll him then?
I just trolled him a little
Okay,
bit. Yeah.
got it.
What I did is I did a Rupert
You,
Holmes.
you
reference.
wrote him.
Yeah, like
question
the
mark.
song by Rupert Holmes. Him.
See, I don't
him,
know that. I mean, I
him.
know-
What's
No,
she
Mike,
gonna do about
nobody knows
him?
that.
Everyone
Nobody
knows it.
does.
It was
Now,
a
wait a
great
minute.
medium charting record.
Medium charting.
This is
Nobody knows that.
this is where the confusion comes in. I know the song,
Right.
but I didn't get your reference. Did you think Tab did when you put him?
Guaranteed he got it.
He got the Rupert Holmes reference.
We have a running joke because he and I have discussed in the past KTEL
Here we go.
records. And you remember the K-Tel records? You
Who
get
doesn't
20
discuss
hits
K-Tel?
on a flat black plastic disc. And one song that showed up on a lot of K-Tel records was, you see, K-Tel would not usually do the biggest hit of an artist. So Rupert Holmes' biggest hit would be the Pina Colada
Yes.
song, but they
Of
wouldn't put
course.
the Pina Colada song
Everybody
on.
knows
They'd
that.
put his second biggest hit, which is him. And so we always found that funny. And so
Yeah, that is odd marketing.
Oh, hold on a second. You heard what he said. He always found that funny.
Yeah,
so
always.
let's take a pause so we can all go.
and
My stomach hurts. I'm laughing
That's
so hard.
part of the thing I didn't get. It was one of those threads. I'm like, what are they talking about?
Mike.
What are they? And Johnny Midnight was there, and Tab was there.
Johnny
and they were all
got
oiled up with Crisco. And
No, there was nothing sexual
Insane.
about
I
it
didn't
at
know what
all.
was
Come
going
on.
It was
You're just being silly now.
It was silly stuff. Anyway, we'll take a break. Pretty big story in news you may not need coming up that I think you'll find very, very interesting. Before we go to break, here's a word about the Charity Hockey Classic with Oscar Santana. Take
Gentlemen,
it away, Oscar.
it's here. You mentioned it, Mike. The 6th Annual Charity Hockey Classic. That's October 25th, this Saturday at the Kettler Capitals Iceplex Arena in Arlington, Virginia. It's for a great cause, people. The doors open at 11:30 a.m. and all proceeds benefit the Children's National Health Systems. Children's National improves the health of children all around the world, and they never turn away a patient. That's so important.
It is.
They're making a difference. Come out, help make that difference. Again, kids are admitted for free. You come. It's a great afternoon. Doors open at 11:30. You can find out all the information at charityhockeyclassic.com. We hope to see you there.
Oh, we'll all be there.
Yeah.
All right, see you there.
Do you find yourself awake at 2 a.m. with a gnawing pain in your stomach? Did your lunchtime sandwich leave you feeling unsatisfied? Maybe you missed breakfast. Oh no! Perhaps all you need is some cake and cookies to fill that void. Cake and cookies. Much better than an after-dinner mint and best enjoyed with alcohol. Served up every Wednesday at morebroadcasting.com.
Miss Forbes von Herven's burp was accurate. Welcome back to the Mike O'Mara Show, brought to you by Harry's. Harry's is a wonderful company that is taking our listeners by storm. There are two guys that started with a passion for creating a better shaving experience for all men. How did they do it? Well, it's simple. They bought a blade factory in Germany that have been crafting some of the world's highest quality blades for nearly a century. Our listeners have gone nuts over this, and you will too. I love my Harry's razor. Shaved with it this morning. They cut out the middleman. They can offer amazing shaves at a fraction of the price of drugstore brands. Just go in there and check out the drugstore brands and then check out Harry's prices. That's all you'll need to do. Check out the video about the factory on harrys.com. It is really cool. You'll love the starter set. For $15, this is the best deal in town. You get the razor, 3 blades, and your choice of Harry's shave cream or the new foaming shave gel. And as always, free shipping and your satisfaction is guaranteed. Go to harrys.com now, and Harry's will give you $5 off your first order. Just type in our code TMOS, that's HARRYS.com, and enter coupon code TMOS at checkout for this limited time offer and change the way you shave forever. News. Yes, that's right. Sorry about that. Scared me for a second. We have a big breaking story on TMZ, and I don't know if you guys have heard this yet, but according to TMZ, Mama June of Honey Boo Boo fame is now dating a man, get ready for this one, who just got out of prison.
Oh, good.
Whoa.
Yeah, no, you're not going to play. Rob, I would probably hold that applause.
Okay, I'm sorry.
You know what he got out of prison for?
What?
Child molestation.
Oh, no.
Oh.
Boo.
Man's name is Mark McDaniel. He was convicted of molesting an 8-year-old child in 2004, did a 10-year stretch. He is 53 years old. And according to TMZ, Mama June was dating him at the time of the molestation.
Man.
Wow.
They do know the child victim. They have not identified the child victim, but the only thing they will say is that it was someone close to Mama June. So this is someone Mama June knows, and she is back to dating this guy. June has been sneaking away, they say, from the production of Honey Boo Boo, and has also been buying this guy gifts. And there is a picture of the perv up there, and they
what
they
happened to
show this,
Sugar Bear?
Who knows? Oh, they broke up. I think they split up.
Wow.
They
And
totally
don't you think
split
it's
up.
giving it a little too much to call it a production? The production of Honey Boo Boo. We're sneaking away from all the years of rehearsal and the huge sets, and
It's
we're
just-
getting away.
Meet
You
you at
know,
the Quick Mart.
You know, you hit the lucky stick, you hit the effing lottery,
man.
Yep.
and then you're just so broken and sick.
You're not smart enough to see what's in front of you.
It's just ridiculous. Anyway,
Wow.
so we'll keep you posted on that one. Renee Zellweger says she looks different because she's living a different, happy, more fulfilling life. The 45-year-old Oscar winner issued a statement to People magazine late Tuesday after she became a trending topic on Twitter, with many fans claiming the actress had become unrecognizable. Her appearance at a Hollywood event earlier this week sparked widespread internet chatter. Zellweger's most recent acting credit was in 2010.
Wow.
I didn't realize she hadn't made a movie since 2010, and she says that people don't know me in my 40s. People say she has concentrated on her health and personal development in recent years and is thrilled that perhaps it shows.
Oh, wow.
So there's no copping to plastic surgery here.
I spent a lot of time looking at the picture yesterday, and here's what I've decided. She looks older because she is older.
Yes.
I mean, even if 5 years have passed, that's still 5 years. I think she's had her eyes lifted, and I think she's lost weight. But I don't think anything really severe has been done. I think she actually looks good.
You know who the real
I think she looks. I don't mind the pictures at all.
the
No,
real
she looks okay.
loser is Chris Christie.
Why?
Because the man had surgery and he still looks the same.
Still fat. That's
Right?
right.
That's scary to me because
Right.
I wonder what are you doing? Because don't you have
band
limitations
lost.
as far as what you can put in, right?
Is what
I mean,
happened.
Well, after the surgery, he ate his IV.
It's that water.
Zellweger says she might look different, but who doesn't as they get older?
Yeah.
That's what she
She
says.
looks
so
nice.
More
I
power
think she
to her.
looks
It's a little strange.
Wade Davis is a relief pitcher for the Kansas City Royals, and he's been lights out in the eighth inning this year. But his wife, Caitlin, is in the news right now, too, for being a very good tipper. Before Game 1 of the World Series on Tuesday, Caitlin and some friends were at a restaurant just south of Kansas City called Rock and Brews, and their waiter was a guy named Ryan O'Connor, who looks to be in his 20s. After Ryan dropped off their check, he started to walk away, but then Caitlin called him back and asked instead of a tip if he'd like to get a free ticket to the game that night.
Wow.
That's cool. That's cool.
Ryan's manager, who ended up giving him the rest of the night off, said he could go. We're not sure where his seats were, but the seat they sat with Caitlin and her family, so they had to be good seats.
Yeah, exactly.
According to the website SeatGeek, the average World Series ticket is going for $950. So that's a pretty damn good
Nice tip.
Good tip.
Word has it, Melissa Rivers has inherited the bulk of Joan Rivers' estate, which was well over $100 million. Us Magazine. Yeah, that's a lot of
I had
money.
no idea that she was worth
sure.
that kind of money.
Well,
She
Rob,
worked,
think of the
she worked into her 90s.
I know she worked.
Or 80s.
But wow. I wonder
Year in, year out.
That's great.
Us Magazine claims she's getting $75 million in cash, as well as Joan's $35 million condo on New York's Upper East Side. Melissa's 13-year-old son, Cooper, is expected to get his own inheritance. Naturally, Melissa isn't in the mood to be gleefully swimming through pools of gold coins right now. A so-called source says, quote, "It's no consolation for losing her mother so soon," and I believe that with all my heart.
I do too.
Absolutely. And the other thing that I read about Melissa Rivers that's pretty much a lock that she will be taking action against this clinic where all this went down.
Oh,
So
you know
we'll have to
what?
wait
And she
see.
should. If not, and obviously it won't be for the money. She doesn't need the money, but this clinic needs to be held accountable.
Right.
Absolutely.
Speaking of the World Series, Game 1 of the series only averaged 12.2 million viewers on Tuesday night. That was bad enough to make it the lowest-rated World Series opener in modern history. Wow. I knew it was going to be bad, but, well, that's why I talked about it yesterday, but I didn't think it was going to be this bad.
Wow, the last time this few people watched the World Series on television, 1930.
Wow. It's unclear how far that goes back. They said it's at
There's-
least 30
there's no
years.
television. I get it.
One factor could have been the game was a blowout, San Francisco easily beating Kansas City 7-1. Another factor could be the fact that Kansas City is a small market, or because this is the Giants' third time in the World Series.
Enough
I think
already.
that's the biggest.
Just kidding.
I think that's the biggest factor right there.
Yep.
Those of you who do care, the Royals got their payback and went on to beat the Giants by a score of 7-2 last night. So, for baseball, since I am a big baseball
The
fan,
series
I
is
hope,
evened out.
I hope it's a good
Yeah.
series.
Yeah.
And if it goes 7 games, that'll generate a little bit more interest towards the end. 26-year-old woman in China named Tan Shen.
Chinese!
Tan.
She got dumped by her boyfriend recently, and on her way home, she decided to stop at a Kentucky Fried Chicken and eat the pain away,
Good girl.
which isn't all that strange. Oscar, I've seen him do that
That's
before.
what I do.
Yeah.
Lots of us eat when we're sad, but apparently Tan was totally off the rails because instead of stuffing her face, going home and crying herself to sleep,
Yeah.
she sat at KFC for 1 week.
Oh, man.
You've been here for an hour.
No free refills.
She just kept ordering food. The KFC was open 24 hours, and the employees didn't even realize she'd been there until 3 days into it. But she wasn't bothering anyone. She'd just been sitting at a table looking sad and eating massive amounts of chicken.
You know what, Mike? That doesn't sound so bad. No. She's patronizing the place.
That's right.
Yeah. Tan later explained that she couldn't go to her apartment because it was filled with stuff that reminded her of her ex. Isn't this sad?
Oh,
and she needed time to think, so she even called in sick to work to stay there. It doesn't sound like she did this for attention either. As soon as the news crews got up there, she split. She didn't want to hang around. She says by that point she was starting to get sick of the chicken anyway, you think?
God. I feel sorry for her toilet.
She is currently, well,
Her
so do her
toilet.
parents. That's who she's staying with now. She's staying with mom and dad.
Right.
And now a little something. 42-year-old Carlos Ortiz Jr. and 33-year-old Melissa Sellers were drinking at their place in Clearwater, Florida on Tuesday. Okay.
It's a good lead.
That's all you need, isn't it? I mean, they were drinking at their place in Clearwater, Florida.
What you doing tonight? I'm drinking.
Yes, drinking at my place. And incidentally, that's when the weekend starts here in Florida, Tuesday night.
Sure.
It's not clear if they're together or just roommates, but, well, it's safe to say Melissa's probably moving out now. Late Tuesday night, she found out that Carlos had thrown away some leftover spaghetti and meatballs she planned to eat, and she responded by dousing him with nail polish remover and lighting him on fire.
No.
I'm sorry.
Oh, wow.
So, yes, she's psycho. We've established that. She realized that right after that, lighting someone on fire for throwing out leftovers was maybe over the top. So she tried pouring water on him and also ripped his shirt off to put out the fire. Carlos ended up with serious burns to his face, chest, and shoulders. As of yesterday, he was listed in critical condition, so this is not a good story. Meanwhile, Melissa is being charged with aggravated battery and attempted murder. And, well, she had something interesting to say when she was taken in by police.
What's that?
She said, "Sometimes you just got to give that meatball." We will take a break. Got to get that meatball.
Oh, man.
We'll take a break.
Sure did want that meatball.
So did want that meatball. Where's my nail polish remover? We'll take a break, come back with the audio of Paul and Rob Spiewak right after this.
We know Reno.
And we know that you're going to have the time of your life at CAT 2014.
Saturday, November 15th in the Mandalay Ballroom at Circus Circus in Reno.
It's an all-new Mike O'Mara Show live.
A live show, up close and personal.
Plus an exclusive after party for all the ticket holders.
Come on out and laugh at us and then hang with us.
And if you were wondering about a Hort package upgrade,
This time, everyone who buys a ticket is automatically eligible for backstage access.
10 lucky folks will win a pair of backstage passes for a pre-show drink with us.
buy a ticket and you're eligible.
Everybody's a whore at CAT 2014.
Get your tickets by dialing 1-800-648-5010.
That's 1-800-648-5010.
The Mike O'Mara Show live.
Made possible by Encore Insurance Services.
We'll see you there.
Hey, small business owners, listen up right now at Vistaprint.com. You can get 500 business cards for just $9.99 when you enter the promo code TMOS at checkout. You heard me right, $9.99 for 500 business cards. Vistaprint makes it easy to create a card that's right for you. Pick from tons of designs, add your info, and you're on your way to a card that's perfect for you. They are fun to create. You can even upgrade to their signature stock or add that lovely fancy finish that Patrick Bateman likes, his raised print.
Yes.
Don't you know? I love Vistaprint. They also offer tons of other products, too. From marketing materials to custom apparel, even holiday cards. It's where I get mine. Calendars and gifts as well. Plus, all of their products are 100% guaranteed. If you're not happy, Vistaprint will make it right. 500 business cards on sale for just $9.99. There's never been a better time to professionally promote your business. Just visit Vistaprint.com and use promo code TMOS to get this offer and do it today. Without further ado, let's open up the audio vault with Mr. Rob Spiewak. Rob, what do you have on the docket today, my friend?
Oh, lots of good things, but you've got to open it.
I know. I just like to do that too.
Thank you
Just
so
for fun.
kindly.
Sorry.
First of all, based on his success with the duet with Lady Gaga, here's the newest duet from Tony Bennett. It's him and Lou Holtz.
Well, I don't get. They bring me in cold, but they're.
You can buy that on Amazon. It's a great
Now,
album.
just for those of us that know you well and
Yeah.
know your obsessive compulsive tendencies,
Yeah.
how long are you planning on continuing this run? Is this
I
going
see
to
this
be...
going through tomorrow.
Okay, that's it.
And probably not Monday. Probably not Monday.
thank you. All right,
Unless
just
it gets
checking.
real hot again. You know what I
Okay,
got to do? I
very
got to
good.
keep my ear to the ground and my finger on the pulse of the puppy.
Yeah, absolutely.
And speaking of which, Mike, you know, the things are really starting to cook when they get a parody record. I'm just shocked that this one took this long to happen. Standing by with your explosion.
The other day, he looked at me and said, "By the way, you've got Ebola."
I didn't mind that one so much.
You didn't mind that?
No.
Oscar liked that one.
No, as soon as they,
Like a
I just
Weird
was
Al.
waiting. I was simply waiting for the E in Ebola. That's what I was waiting
You didn't
for.
even get to the A in Ebola.
That's right. No, didn't want to get to the A in Ebola. Thank
All right,
you very much.
Mike, this is a PSA for you, and we've discussed this in the past, that, you know, a lot of people take pictures and video of kids, but I'm a big proponent of getting audio tape of them.
Oh, yeah.
My mom's husband, Dave, found this, I think, the day before yesterday. Robert is about 4 in this tape. I had never heard this since he had recorded it. For a point of comparison, this is Robert now. This is a promo that we occasionally run.
Podcasts are great, but with all the podcasts out there, how do you choose? Let me recommend for your listening pleasure, Cake and Cookies.
Very Charlie Brownish or Linus-ish, right? But
Absolutely.
this is right after Robert learned the Pledge of Allegiance. He's 4 years old.
When you point at me, that means to go. And 1, 2, 3. I pledge allegiance to the flags of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And it seems like it was about 20 minutes ago.
Great
Time
fidelity.
flies.
Great fidelity.
That's where you realize there's something bigger than us, folks. when you hear something
Absolutely.
like
That's
that.
pretty cool. So I
Yes.
want to
The
thank
English language.
Dave for recording that. And also, Robert, it's pronounced allegiance, not allegiance. Get your head out of your ass. Mike, it's been too long since I've brought you goats. You love your goats.
Oh my God, this is a good audio vault today. This is making me very
Goats
happy.
love to scream and goats love to sing music from Star Wars.
Oh my God. Oh my.
God forbid. If I have to eulogize you, Mike, I will
Oh,
say
my
he was a
God.
kind man. He was a giving man. He was a man who loved goats. Did you see the video of Hollywood Boulevard and the brawl of the superheroes?
Oh, I didn't
Yeah,
see
was
that.
okay. Here's the question I have about that. Was that guy hitting a girl?
Yes. He
Well,
was.
then,
Mr.
excuse me, I
Incredible
watched
was beating up Batwoman.
Whoa.
How about hey,
Batgirl,
way to go,
rather.
way to go today, show. Yucking it all up because they're wearing superhero costumes. He was beating the crap out of a lady.
I
That
think
was ridiculous.
I give the credit to CBS 2. Suzanne Marquez actually did
Wow.
some live commentary. If you want to know what happened, and if you've been in front of the old Grauman's Chinese Theater on Hollywood Boulevard, people dress up in really bad superhero outfits and charge you $1 to take your picture.
There's nothing
right?
sadder than watching these guys walk up from their hovels.
Yep.
Because they're walking up from their studio apartments. I'm not one to talk. I have an apartment.
Of course.
And when they're
But
walking
you don't
up,
wear a cape,
no,
Oscar.
but when they're walking up,
and by the way, Oscar, they may have studio apartments.
and-
You might be giving them too much
but
credit.
in full attire,
Yeah.
full
Right.
attire, sweating in the middle of summer,
Right.
just walking up so they can make their shekels.
Exactly.
Taking pictures.
Exactly. Here's a CBS 2. I believe this was live coverage of the brawl.
At the beginning, we see Mr. Incredible and Batgirl struggling. Chewbacca tries to break it up. Batgirl scratches Mr. Incredible. Waldo and Freddy Krueger step in. They try to hold back Mr. Incredible, who gets loose, chases Batgirl, throws a punch, kicks her, and then flips her onto the sidewalk.
Man.
Bystanders chase him off.
And I think it shows great journalism. You don't have to fact check if you call them their character names.
Also,
Chewbacca stepped in.
Also,
yeah, but the fact is, he was attacking a woman. It
Yeah,
was
I know, it's
amazing.
bad.
Because at the very end of that, you look at that, you're laughing about the superheroes, and then you go, "Is that a girl that he was hitting?" I mean, it's ridiculous.
Those franchises would never mix in real life because they just have different contracts.
That's
and
true.
then two,
Mike, what he's saying is this is not canonical. You could
Right.
not have Mr. Incredible fighting Chewbacca.
when I was in Hollywood about a week, 2 weeks ago, 3 weeks ago, whatever it was, Olaf from Frozen was the biggest character there.
Oh,
Because
he's
I walked
hot.
by, and he was getting mobbed.
Yeah.
Mobbed, absolutely mobbed.
And meanwhile, Mike, Frankenstein can't even get arrested.
Sad, isn't it?
It is.
Very, very sad.
It is. And you know what? What I liked about CBS 2 is they took it to the next level. They interviewed Batman. And they...
Oh, no.
They went to Batman and they asked her, so why does this go down? Are there good superheroes?
Get ready for the brain trust here, folks.
Good superheroes and bad superheroes on Hollywood Boulevard?
The good ones, we're stationary. We stand against the curb. People come to us. But the bad ones, they roam up and down. So they cross paths or
Of course
they
he's from another country.
They target the same people, and then they get into each other. It's less now because we have a lot more police presence here since last year.
Yes.
And it has made a difference. It's not cleaned up yet, but it's getting better.
I was looking at him very closely. I don't think that was Ben Affleck as Batman. That might have been Val Kilmer.
Okay, you know what? I say get them all the hell off the street.
Well, all of them are
man.
violating licensing.
Get them out of there.
Yeah.
There's this one Bumblebee guy that's there, and I'd like to take a picture
Is
of
he
him.
the guy from the Spanish television station?
No, different guy.
Different guy.
Different
All
guy.
right, and we close, Mike. This
Oh my
one-
God, his costume, he just gets on his knees and then drives around somehow. It looks amazing. The wheel spin.
Yes, I'm sure it's amazing.
What
didn't have
abuses
the time.
Mr. Santana? I'm never amazed at
Greatest
that.
costume ever.
I was in Hollywood and it was amazing. Okay, Mike, this is for you. Did you know that Florida is thinking about turning itself into 2 states?
Politicians in Miami have passed a resolution to split Florida into 2 states. Yes. Yeah, the 2 states would be known as Geezerville and Methylvania.
So I'll see you in Methylvania. That is your Magic Audio Vault. Have a great Thursday, everybody.
Thank you very much. Don't forget, it's our last second push for tickets to Circus in Reno, Nevada, Cat 2014, everybody. Made possible by our friends at Encore Insurance. We're going to be there Saturday, November 15th at 8 p.m. Lots of new stuff, fun and thrills. And we've got whore packages. That's right. Everybody who buys a ticket at 800-648-5010 qualifies for backstage passes with us. We've got special room rates. It should be a lot of fun. Get your tickets. If you know people in Reno, in Sacramento,
Yes.
in Sparks, in Chico, in Stockton.
Yes.
Make sure, give them a call and say, you going to the Mike O'Mara Show in Reno? It's coming up. It's Saturday, November 15th at 8 p.m. Here's the number again, 800-648-5010. We'll see you there. For Oscar Santana and Rob Spiewak, Mike O'Mara saying, so long, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Ciao, ciao.
Wait, don't go. I need to tell you that MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon is perfect for all your online shopping needs. Shop the best way. Shop Amazon. And please go through our website, always open at MikeO'MaraShow.com/Amazon.
Mike O'Mara, Radio Entertainment.